Hey everyone, Joe here from AbleNet, and today I'm here to talk to you about iOS 7 and the new accessibility feature called Switch Control. Now with Switch Control, what you're able to do is with one or multiple switches, virtually control most of the functions within the iDevice itself. So today what I want to do is show you how to set up two switches and step scanning with Switch Control. So to get started here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into our settings and click on General and then click on Accessibility. And we're going to go all the way down to the accessibility shortcut. What you'll notice here is that there are 5 options. We only want to select Switch Control. What this will allow us to do is by triple clicking our home button, it'll turn on or turn off Switch Control. We have seen some people using a screen switch that have been locked out of their iDevice, that if they would have set up their accessibility shortcut, would have been able to easily exit out. So we like to only do Switch Control for this instance. Next thing we want to do is we are using a Bluetooth switch today called the new Bluetooth from AbleNet, and we're going to go right into our Bluetooth menu here, and we're going to turn Bluetooth on, and you're going to see a variety of Bluetooth devices around me pop up. So I'm going to select Bluetooth and give it a second here to pair. So now that it says connected, we know that this switch is paired with our iDevice. So now what we're going to do is actually set up our two switches and configure some of the settings. So I'm going to go into General and go back to Accessibility. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom here, you're going to see Switch Control. So the first thing we're going to want to do is set up two switches right here. So we're going to go into Switches and we're going to add new switch. Now, because we are using a Bluetooth switch, this is considered an external switch, so we're going to click External. And now it's asking me to activate my switch. So I'm going to take my Bluetooth and I'm going to activate the white switch. And we like to give a very intuitive name to our switches so we know what they are when we come back at a later time. So this one I'm just going to call white. There we go. I'm going to save it. Now what you're presented with are a variety of options for what you can use this switch for. So in this instance, because we're using two switches with step scanning, we want it to move. So we're going to select Move to Next Item. There we go. Now we're going to add our second switch, also external, and this time we're going to activate the orange side. And we're just going to call this one orange. And save. And because this time we already have our move switch put together, so now we need to select items. So we're going to use the select item feature. So as you can see here, we have the white switch with move to next item and orange switch with select item. If you ever wanted to delete a switch, just hit edit, click the little minus button, it brings up the delete here. So we're going to go back to our switch control settings here and go through a couple of the settings for you. So the first one that we want to talk about here is just make sure auto scanning is off. Next up here we have auto tap. We like to turn auto tap on, and the reason being when iOS 7 comes out of the box, it has when you select something, it brings up a menu and then you have to do a second selection. Once auto tap is on, you can do a single selection and it'll go right into the app or whatever you're trying to do. If you'd like to bring that menu of options up, you simply double click within a specified amount of seconds. So to change those seconds, you can see right here, just select up or down. We'll keep it at 1 second for this demonstration. So next up here, we're going to go down to audio, and we have two auditory cues here. One is going to be sound effects, so each time the scan moves, it's going to make a clicking sound. And the second one here is called speech. This is just like VoiceOver. Each item that it goes to, it's going to read back to you. Now, a majority of developers are starting to tag their apps, so this is getting better and better every day. Next up here, we have group items. This one's kind of nice and we like to keep it on. What it does, as you scan through your screen, it groups things together, makes it a little bit quicker. Once you reach a group that your item is in, you select that group and scan over to it, and then you can select that item. So it's very similar to row column scanning. Next up here, under the visual, we have the large cursor. We also like to turn this on. What it does is it makes your cursor a little bit more prominent on the screen itself by increasing the border size. And then lastly here we have cursor color, and you have 5 different options for colors depending on what your background is. this just makes it stick out a little bit better. So we have a blue background today. We're going to choose yellow. So now I'm going to go back to switch control, and I'm going to go all the way back to the top and turn switch control on. You're going to see the cursor probably pop up on the side here. Also a reminder that you could have triple clicked on your home button to get this to work as well. So I'm going to first click my white switch, which is my mover. I'm just going to go through the screen here. So now I'm in a row, and I want to go into the Notes app. So now that I'm at the row, I'm going to click my orange switch to select the row, and I'm going to use my white switch again to move over to Notes. So I'm going to single click, and it's going to open up the Notes app. So now I'm in the Notes app, I'm done, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click and use my white switch again to move over to Home, select it with my orange switch. So just like I showed you that menu there, you can also do that on the home screen as well, or in a variety of other places by simply going to an item and double clicking, and it'll bring up those menus. So as you can see, 2 switches with step scanning. It's pretty easy to set up, has a lot of power.